ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it. Taking bad hits, taking back hits. Subscribe.
I don't know what I said to you last time, but I'm sorry.
Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Select figure review on the Marvel Select Ant-Man movie Disney Store exclusive figure. If you're trying to pick this up, you can pre-order at big. Get your big badass toys at bigbadtoystore.com. Click the link in the description below. So standard Marvel Select packaging, we get a Disney Store exclusive logo right over there. I like that we get the Avengers Initiative. And then right over here, you can see Ant-Man looking very cool. And then on the back, you can see the figure right there. Wow, that's big. All right, let's get to it and crack this thing open. So here's Ant-Man out of the packaging, and this is not a bad Ant-Man figure at all. I'm happy to see a much more film accurate helmet right over here on this Ant-Man as opposed to the Marvel Legends one. We get a decent amount of articulation on this figure, and I really do like the paint sculpt a lot. He doesn't come with as many accessories as I was hoping he would, and you get some interchangeable hands, and we get the Paul Rudd head sculpt to swap out over here. So anyway, let's take a closer look at those, and then we'll take a closer look at the Ant-Man. So aside from the two head sculpts over here, we get 6 interchangeable hands, and then we get this mini Ant-Man over here, which I think is actually painted quite well. I think they did a really good job on this. Look at all the details in there. And the helmet looks pretty good. They got the red in the right places, I think. I don't know, I think this is a pretty good... It stands just under 2 inches tall. And then here it is next to the little Ant-Man that came with the Marvel Legends Ant-Man movie figure. If you want to put this big guy on Anthony, I don't know. Could it still work? It still kind of works. I don't know, he's a little too big, but you could do it if you want. And as far as the hands go, they look pretty good. I like how it looks like they're real gloves and got these leathery wrinkles and everything. You can see the knuckles coming through underneath there. Get some nice red paint on the inside. So you get the two fisted hands, and then you get these relaxed hands right here. A little paint came off. Looking not too shabby, and then we get these grabbing hands right here. And popping the heads on and off on this figure is very easy. You don't have that issue going on with the Amazing Spider-Man figures where the peg comes out. You know, I've done this several times already, and it works out very, very well. So this is not a bad Paul Rudd head sculpt. I really think they did capture the likeness of Paul Rudd over here. You know, you get his facial features and everything. I think the paint gets a little bit weird, especially in that ear over there. That looks a bit strange. The hair is sculpted quite nicely. We're not getting any real color variation or anything there, but, you know, the color looks good, and it's a nice sculpt. But looking over here, you can see the sideburns, and you get that weird pink in his ear over there. And he does have a very strong pink color for his mouth, which looks a little bit strange. But I do like the 5 o'clock shadow paint that we get over there. And one thing I did notice with mine, it seemed like there's like these little fabric flakes or something like that stuck in the paint. I noticed that a little bit around here on the forehead. It's very, very hard to see, but when you have it in person, it looks like there's something underneath the skin. It bothers me, but it's not terrible. And I think Diamon did a fantastic job on this Ant-Man helmet sculpt. This looks great. I really like how the eyes came out. Much more film accurate than the Legends version. I mentioned that earlier. I like all these little sculpted pieces. I think it's painted okay. That's one gripe of mine, is that I don't like the silver color that they chose here. It's so bright that it looks a little bit more like white from a distance, and it's not a very reflective kind of silver color. I do like this silver color that we got on the Legends version. This kind of has a little bit more of a chrome kind of look. This reminds me of what we saw in the movie a little bit more. But as you can see, it's incorrect with the mouth showing right there. But as you can see, it's totally incorrect with having the face showing right over there, where this one's got it all covered up like how it was in the movie. But yeah, looking at this little stain right here, I like that. It's just that color choice just bothers me a little bit. Now looking on the back over here, you get these little tubes, and there's these little holes right over here that they're supposed to plug into. These weren't plugged in when I opened this. You could put them in there, but it's going to fall out as soon as you start articulating it. So I guess I could try super gluing those in there. But I don't know, I may or may not do that. Now looking at the rest of the suit, I think it looks pretty good. I really like how the paint came out, especially with this shadowing effect with the black and the red right there. You get these little detailed spots of red over here on the neck. I think they did a good job with that neck piece and the sculpt of it. Get these little sections right over here that are sculpted in with the little red right there. And you can see that shadowing effect throughout all these other red pieces. This left side came out pretty cool with this little slot right over there. This right side, though, it is bleeding like crazy. Oh, he's bleeding from the wrist. And then right over here, you can see on the belt that it's not, you know, that silver color bothers me still. Like I said, sometimes it looks like it's just a flat white color. But as far as the sculpt goes on the belt, I think it looks very good. I like that. Then coming around the back over here, you can see it looks really nice. Get some of these parts right over here. Looking really good. Get a nice leathery look for the pants over here. So it does look like biker pants. On the back side of these wristlet things, looks pretty good too. I like how you get the red right there in between the black sections. So I like that. Then nice silver paint right over here. So, you know, it's a pretty well made figure. I like it. You know, a lot of nice little details throughout. Nice wrinkles right there on the feet. Even got the red right there on the tip of the boots. And the figure does have peg holes at the bottom of his feet. We got some pretty good articulation on this figure. He can look up a reasonable amount, not too much, but just a little bit. He can move his head downward, side to side movement, and we do get neck pivot. Shoulders move outward very far, I like that. And he can move them forward. He has an elbow bend over here that's at about 90 degrees, and you get rotation at the elbow. Would have preferred double jointed elbows right over here. And you get wrist rotation. They hinge up and down. He has this really good diaphragm joint. It rotates side to side. You don't get any pivot over here, but it crunches very far forward, and I really like that. And it moves back very far too, and the sculpt and paint keeps up and everything, so I like that a lot. He has a waist joint as well on top of it. I think that's really cool. He also has these hip joints. He has a bit of the DCUC gaping crotch pits though. He can't kick forward as much as I'd like him to. That's a little bit frustrating. Can't really move back so much. Upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees, then the ankles move down, and then they don't really move up that much, and he does have ankle pivot. Now this Ant-Man figure stands a little over 7 inches tall. Then here's Ant-Man next to the Marvel Select Falcon from the Winter Soldier movie, and as you can see, even with Falcon's legs spread out wider than Ant-Man's, because I can't get Falcon's legs closer together than that, he's still shorter than Falcon over here, so I don't know how well that scale works out, but they're more or less around the same height. Then here's our Marvel Select Ant-Man next to the Marvel Legends Ant-Man, and then we have the 3¾ inch movie Ant-Man that came with Antony, and I don't like the red over here, it just stands out way too much. These two look pretty good standing side by side. You can see how this guy has a lot more detail throughout the figure paint-wise compared to this one right over here, and that one right there. Then while adding the mini Ant-Man that came with the Select figure and the one that came with the Marvel Legends figure, here's this shrinking effect. It does get a little disturbed right over here with this wrong helmet sculpt, but other than that, I think it still looks pretty cool. I like the size difference between all these figures. It kind of works. I don't know. What do you think? And then here he is next to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Dude, you're awesome and clueless. Then here's me trying to get Ant-Man in a landing pose, which is a little difficult. You know, these hip joints right over here that can't move forward too well is a bit of a problem for me, and I wish he had double jointed elbows. So there's things I really like about this figure. There are some things that are a little bit disappointing. I do wish he came with his own Antony. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more accessories. So I'm not going to say this is a complete disappointment or anything, and they did a really good job with the paint apps and the sculpt. It's just that I wish that there's just, I don't know, maybe just a little bit more with this figure. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I hope you guys liked my review. If you did, please hit the like button. Click any of these boxes over here for more Shart in your eye. Check me out on Patreon. Your help is much appreciated. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and go to marvelousnews.com for a photo gallery of images from this review. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.
That's crispy.
Interchangeable hands, and then we get ooh.